If you're a senior living alone, there's one question that could literally save your life. Would you know exactly what to do if you started experiencing a cardiac emergency while no one else was around? It's a terrifying thought, right? But it's a reality that thousands of older adults face every year. And the truth is, what you do in those first few minutes can mean the difference between survival and tragedy. Today, we're going deep into 7 life-saving techniques specifically designed for older adults who want to remain independent, but also stay safe. These aren't random tips pulled off the internet. These are doctor-recommended, research-backed strategies that can empower you to take control of your heart health, even when you're completely on your own. So whether you're someone who's already experienced heart issues, or you're just being smart and proactive about your health, stay with me because what you're about to learn could save your life, or the life of someone you care about. Now let's start with the first life-saving technique, recognizing the less obvious signs of a cardiac emergency. See, we've all been conditioned by TV and movies to associate heart attacks with that classic chest-clutching, fall-to-the-floor moment. But in real life, especially for seniors, it often doesn't look like that at all. According to the American Heart Association, older adults are more likely to experience what's called atypical symptoms. That means things like shortness of breath, lightheadedness, nausea, unusual fatigue, or even mild jaw or back pain can be the early signs of a heart attack. One study from the Journal of Geriatric Cardiology found that nearly 43% of seniors who had a heart attack never reported chest pain at all. Let that sink in for a second. Almost half never felt chest pain. That's why paying close attention to unusual symptoms is absolutely critical. Let me give you a real example. There was an 81-year-old woman in Florida who began experiencing an odd sense of unease late one evening. She couldn't describe it exactly. She said she felt a strange pressure in her upper back, like someone was leaning on her. She felt a little nauseated and more tired than usual, but she didn't want to be a bother, so she laid down to rest. Hours later, she collapsed from a massive cardiac event. The paramedics later said if she had called them when the first symptoms began, she very likely would have avoided severe damage. Now, I'm not sharing this to scare you. I'm sharing it to empower you. If something feels off, trust your instincts. It's better to have a false alarm than to wait and risk permanent damage. Or worse, ask yourself right now, would you recognize the less obvious signs in your own body? Would you act immediately, or would you wait to see if it gets worse? This brings us right to our second technique, and it's just as vital: proper positioning while you wait for emergency help. Once you realize something is wrong, the next step is getting yourself into the safest possible position to minimize stress on your heart. Emergency medical professionals recommend sitting upright in a comfortable chair or against a wall with your knees slightly bent. Don't lie down unless you're about to lose consciousness. And don't try to stand or walk around, especially if you're lightheaded. Moving can accelerate your heart rate, and that's the last thing you want during a cardiac episode. Now here's the mistake many people make. They panic. They try to get up and find something, or they crawl to another room to grab their phone or medication. That's dangerous. Have your phone within reach at all times, especially in places like your kitchen, living room, or bedside table. Even better, set up voice-activated emergency calls using smart home devices or your smartphone. Once you're seated safely, focus on slow, steady breathing. The more oxygen you can get into your system without overexerting, the better your chances. And if you're able to, unlock your door so emergency responders can reach you faster. It's such a simple action, but it can shave off crucial minutes. Would you know exactly where to sit and how to breathe if this happened to you right now? If you're not sure, it's time to plan that today. Technique number 3, and this one's a game changer, is managing the emotional panic that almost always kicks in during a cardiac scare. Imagine this: your heart starts racing, you're short of breath, your arms feel heavy, and on top of all that, you're scared out of your mind. It's the fear that makes everything worse. Anxiety triggers an increase in adrenaline, which can elevate your heart rate and blood pressure at the worst possible moment. According to a study published in the Journal of Psychosomatic Research, seniors who experienced high anxiety during cardiac events were 2.3 times more likely to suffer long-term complications. Think about that. Your emotional state directly affects your physical outcome. So how do you counter that? You prepare your mind just like you prepare your home. Breathing techniques like 4-count box breathing can help. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and rest for 4. Practice that daily, not just during emergencies. Positive affirmations can work too. Say out loud, "I know what this is, I know what to do, help is on the way." This reminds your brain that you're not helpless. You are in control. You've planned for this. Counseling and support groups for seniors who've experienced cardiac events can also play a huge role in rebuilding confidence and lowering long-term stress levels. So ask yourself, have you ever prepared your emotional response for a medical emergency? Or are you hoping you'll just stay calm when the moment comes? Now let's move into the fourth technique, and this one's something almost no one talks about: keeping emergency heart medication within arm's reach at all times. If your doctor has prescribed you nitroglycerin tablets or any other emergency use heart medication, it's not enough to have it somewhere in your house. It needs to be where you can reach it in under 10 seconds. Not in the bathroom cabinet, not buried in your purse, not across the room. We're talking bedside drawer, shirt pocket, or even clipped to your walker or wheelchair if you use one. Seconds count in a cardiac crisis, and trying to hunt for a pill bottle while you're dizzy or short of breath is a recipe for disaster. There's a story I'll never forget. An 89-year-old man living in rural Minnesota had been prescribed nitroglycerin for his angina. He'd been feeling pressure in his chest one evening, so he calmly walked to the bathroom cabinet where he kept the medication. But when he reached for it, he collapsed. By the time help arrived, it was too late. His daughter later found the bottle right there, untouched. That tragedy could have been prevented with just one small change: keeping the medication right beside him. So do a check tonight. If you rely on heart medication, ask yourself, could I get to it in 10 seconds if I couldn't stand up? If the answer is no, fix that now. Use pill organizers that clip onto your clothing or wall-mounted cases near your favorite chair. And make sure the expiration dates are current. There's no room for "I'll get around to it" when it comes to emergency medication. Now we're heading into technique number 5, having a personalized emergency call plan. Now I'm not just talking about 911, that's a given. But who's your second call if help is delayed? Who knows your medical history, your allergies, your doctor's number? If you can't speak clearly when paramedics arrive, who speaks for you? This plan has to be written down and placed in a visible location, like the refrigerator door or right next to your landline. A laminated card with your name, date of birth, current medications, allergies, and emergency contacts can be the difference between fast, targeted treatment and dangerous delays. And let's not forget, phones can die, networks can go down, voice assistants can mishear you. You need backup systems. Keep a basic cell phone charged at all times just for emergencies. Use a medical alert system that includes fall detection and automatic calling. And talk to your neighbors. Let them know your situation and ask if they'd be willing to check on you occasionally or respond if your alert is triggered. One woman I spoke with had a brilliant idea. She placed a small whiteboard by her front door that listed the day's date and time she last checked in with someone. If a neighbor saw that the time hadn't changed in over 24 hours, they knew to knock or call. So ask yourself, if you had to call for help right now and couldn't speak, would first responders know what to do? All right, let's shift gears a bit with technique number 6, which is often overlooked but incredibly powerful: training your body with daily mini drills to respond under stress. This might sound strange at first, but just like fire drills prepare people for real emergencies, your body can be trained to move more efficiently and think more clearly during a cardiac scare. Start by doing short, daily what-if routines. Sit down and practice calmly reaching for your emergency phone, picking up your medication, and breathing steadily for 30 seconds. Then try it while standing or sitting in different spots around your home. It may feel silly at first, but here's the science behind it: muscle memory. Your brain builds shortcuts when you repeat actions. That means when a real emergency hits, you'll act faster and with less panic. A study published in the Journal of Aging and Health found that seniors who engaged in emergency response practice drills at least twice a week were 40% more likely to successfully call for help and administer their medication correctly during a cardiac event. That's huge. Even a few minutes of practice a day can dramatically increase your survival odds. And you don't have to do it alone. Get a friend involved, or if you live in a senior community, suggest starting a weekly practice session. Think of it like a safety workout. You're not just preparing your mind, you're conditioning your body to respond like it's second nature. Let me tell you about Mr. Walter, a 74-year-old retired teacher from Chicago. He did something amazing. Every morning after his coffee, he'd walk through his emergency routine. He'd check his phone, his nitroglycerin, and go over his emergency contacts. He'd even practice saying, "I'm having chest pain. I need an ambulance," just to keep the words fresh in his mind. A few months later, when he actually did have a mild heart attack, he didn't panic. He called 911, sat down in his designated chair, unlocked his door, and took his medication. All before the paramedics arrived. They told him those actions probably saved his life. So don't underestimate this technique. Training your response is not just practical, it's life-saving. Now let's get to our final tip, and this one brings everything together. Surrounding yourself with a heart-smart environment. Your space should be set up to support you in a cardiac emergency, not slow you down. That means clear pathways with no clutter, especially between where you sleep and where your phone or medication is located. Use nightlights in hallways, keep non-slip mats near chairs, and avoid rugs that could trip you up if you need to move quickly. And if you use a walker or cane, make sure it's always within reach. Let's stay with this 7th tip and go a little deeper, because a heart-smart environment isn't just about physical setup, it's also about emotional safety. Stress is one of the most underestimated cardiac triggers out there, especially in older adults. If your home is filled with noise, arguments, clutter, or anxiety, your heart is quietly absorbing all of it. Every raised voice, every sudden shock, every burst of frustration, it's all like sandpaper on your arteries. You've got to start viewing your home the same way hospitals design their recovery rooms. Calm, quiet, intentional. Your heart is not just a pump, it's a sensor. And if the signals around you are chaotic, it responds with pressure, rhythm changes, and chemical stress. So here's what you do. Start removing heart-hostile triggers. If the news stresses you out, turn it off. If certain phone calls spike your blood pressure, screen them. If the house feels like a war zone of noise and scattered things, it's time to simplify. Light candles. Play soft music. Use calming colors. Put up a photo of someone you love that brings you peace. Even small changes like switching to warmer lighting or adding a plant can lower stress hormones, and yes, there's science behind it. Studies out of Harvard and UCLA both show that calming indoor environments reduce cortisol levels and promote cardiac recovery. So don't think of this as decorating. Think of it as creating a space where your heart can exhale. And don't forget the power of routine. Routines reduce anxiety. When your day follows a familiar rhythm, your heart doesn't have to brace for the unknown. That means eating meals at consistent times, going to bed and waking up at the same hour, even taking your medication in a predictable order. One widow in Pennsylvania told me she keeps a little heart-shaped tray by her recliner. On it are her daily pills, a bottle of water, and her blood pressure monitor. Every morning, same time, same sequence. She said it calms her like prayer. And that's exactly what we're aiming for here. Calm predictability. Because a calm heart is a strong heart. Now, one final thing under this 7th tip, and I really want to hammer this home, who you live with or who's around you regularly plays a massive role in your heart's safety. If you're around people who make you feel unsafe, unheard, or unseen, your heart is not going to function at its best. It doesn't matter how clean the house is or how close your medication sits. Emotional turmoil, especially in older adults, raises your risk of cardiac events. It's not weakness, it's biology. The heart is deeply connected to your nervous system. So if you feel trapped, bullied, dismissed, or constantly corrected by someone in your home or your circle, you've got to take steps to protect your peace. That could mean setting firmer boundaries. That could mean talking to a counselor, even just over the phone. It could mean moving into a senior living space where you feel respected and safe. Or it could simply mean asking someone in your life to adjust how they speak to you. One grandfather I interviewed asked his adult son to stop interrupting him when he was trying to explain symptoms. They had a tough conversation, but things changed after that. His son apologized and made an effort to listen better, and the grandfather said just that shift made him feel more confident during medical emergencies. So don't be afraid to ask for what you need. Your heart depends on it. All right, let's take a moment to tie all of this together. We've now walked through 7 powerful, practical ways you can increase your chances of surviving a heart attack after age 65. First, we talked about positioning your body correctly. Second, identifying early symptoms, especially the ones people ignore. Third, we tackled how to stay calm and override panic. Fourth, we emphasized the need to keep your heart medication within reach. Fifth, we build out your personalized emergency call plan. Sixth, we drilled into muscle memory with daily practice routines. And finally, we just explored how to create a heart-smart environment that works with your nervous system, not against it. And if you're thinking, that's a lot, you're not wrong. But here's the good news. You don't have to master all of this in one day. You just start, pick one thing. Tonight, you might move your medication to your nightstand. Tomorrow, maybe you print out that emergency info card. The day after that, you spend 10 minutes clearing a walking path to your front door. It's not about making your life harder, it's about making it safer, stronger, and more prepared. Because while none of us can control if a heart attack happens, we can absolutely control how we respond to it. And that response can mean everything. Let me leave you with this thought. If you're watching this video, it means you care. You care about your health. You care about your future. Maybe you care about someone else's future too. That care alone is already a step in the right direction. You're not just sitting back and hoping for the best. You're learning, preparing, and stepping into your power. And if no one has told you this lately, you're doing a great job. It takes courage to look aging and health issues in the eye. It takes strength to plan for emergencies you hope never happen. But those quiet acts of preparation are acts of love, for yourself and for the people who love you. So keep going, you've already started, and your heart is better for it. Now don't forget to like this video if it helped you, share it with a friend who needs to hear this, and make sure you're subscribed for more real, compassionate conversations about aging, health, and safety. There's so much more we're going to explore together. Until next time, stay safe, stay strong, and take care of that heart of yours. It's been taking care of you for a long, long time. Now let's dive into how we can make sure this advice sticks and doesn't just fade away. Tip number 4 really brings us back to your emergency plan. It's not enough to have it in a drawer. You need to practice it, rehearse it. Familiarity is your ally. The best way to prepare for an emergency situation is by running through it. You wouldn't just study for a test. You'd review it, make sure you know the material backward and forward, and practice how you'll answer questions. Why should your heart emergency plan be any different? When's the last time you actually rehearsed the steps you'd take if you had a heart attack alone? Can you confidently say you know exactly what you'd do, where your phone is, what numbers to dial, and where your emergency supplies are? Because this isn't just about being informed, it's about acting fast and confidently when the situation arises. A great example comes from a woman in her mid-70s who has been a cardiac survivor for over 5 years. She walks through her emergency routine once every few months, even if she's feeling perfectly fine. She says it makes her feel secure, like she's in control. Her daughter told me that the first time they did this rehearsal, they realized how many things she hadn't thought of before. For example, she wasn't sure how to call for help if she fell and couldn't reach her phone. They adjusted her plan, and now she has a bell placed strategically in her bedroom. Something small, simple, but critical. Rehearsal is key. Make it a part of your life, not a one-time thing. Practicing might feel strange at first, but it's one of the most empowering things you can do. Now, this doesn't just apply to the emergency plan, though. It applies to your heart health every day. You're not just surviving the moments of crisis, you're actively preparing your heart for life's challenges. Think about your diet, what you eat regularly. Research published in the journal Circulation shows that maintaining a heart-healthy diet doesn't just reduce your risk of heart attacks, it can actually improve outcomes if you've had one before. Fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins can all reduce inflammation and cholesterol while lowering your blood pressure, critical factors in cardiac recovery. We know that heart disease doesn't discriminate, but nutrition can level the playing field. We're all familiar with the standard advice to eat healthy, but if you take it one step further and focus on the foods that promote cardiovascular health specifically, you're giving yourself an extra edge in that fight, and it doesn't stop with your food choices. Did you know that a good night's sleep plays a huge role in your heart health? The American Heart Association reports that poor sleep can lead to high blood pressure, obesity, and even diabetes, all major risk factors for heart disease. The quality of sleep is just as important as the quantity. Seniors especially tend to have fragmented sleep patterns, which can add stress on the heart. So what's the solution? First, try to establish a consistent sleep schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. This consistency helps regulate your heart's rhythms and make sure your sleep environment is conducive to rest, dark, quiet, and cool. Avoid caffeine in the evening, limit screen time before bed, and try relaxation techniques like deep breathing or meditation. Sleep is restorative. Your heart needs that rest. Give it to it. Now let's talk about exercise. I know, you've heard this a million times, but hear me out. It's not just about hitting the gym or going for a 5-mile run. After a heart attack, physical activity is crucial to rebuilding strength, but it has to be done with care and under professional guidance. Cardiac rehab programs have been proven to significantly reduce the risk of another cardiac event and increase your quality of life. If you haven't started one, it's time to seriously consider it. These programs are designed with your heart in mind, and they progress at a safe and steady pace. And here's the good news. The benefits start almost immediately. After just a few weeks of light walking, for example, your heart's efficiency improves, your circulation gets better, and your stress levels decrease. Don't underestimate the power of movement. Your heart will thank you. Exercise doesn't just strengthen the muscles that pump your blood, it strengthens your mental health too. Regular physical activity releases endorphins, the feel-good hormones that reduce anxiety and depression, which can otherwise increase your risk of future cardiac events. In fact, a study by the Journal of Clinical Psychiatry found that seniors who engage in moderate physical activity are 30% less likely to experience depression and anxiety after a heart attack. You might not feel like it some days, but every step counts. Every walk you take, every stretch you do, every movement helps you heal in both body and mind. And once you begin to feel stronger, you'll also feel more confident and empowered to live independently. Now, the next key thing we need to address is your emotional health. Emotional well-being is just as critical to your heart's recovery as any medication you're prescribed. When we experience anxiety, grief, or sadness, our bodies release cortisol, a stress hormone that increases inflammation and raises blood pressure, both of which are heart attack risk factors. The best way to manage this? Talk about it. It may feel difficult at first, but expressing your emotions, whether through journaling, therapy, or just talking with someone you trust, can make a world of difference. It's okay to acknowledge the fear you might feel after a cardiac event. It's okay to be sad, frustrated, or anxious. But don't let it take control. Talk about it. Seek support. Your heart will thank you for it. You may also find that joining a support group can be invaluable. There are numerous cardiac support groups, both in person and online, where you can connect with people who truly understand what you're going through. These groups provide not just emotional support, but practical advice from others who've walked the same path. You can exchange tips on managing anxiety, on staying healthy, and on how to feel empowered again. Just knowing that you're not alone in this journey can be one of the most healing parts of your recovery process. Let's move on to another crucial aspect: your relationships. The people around you can make a huge impact on your heart health and recovery. Social isolation, especially among seniors, can be dangerous. Studies show that people who are socially isolated are more likely to suffer from depression, anxiety, and even have worse heart health outcomes. So what can you do to make sure you're staying connected? Start by building a strong support network. Family, friends, neighbors, even your doctors. Stay in regular contact with people who care about you. Even something as simple as a phone call or a brief visit can be incredibly uplifting and can keep loneliness at bay. But it's not just about quantity, it's about quality. Having meaningful connections is essential for emotional healing. Research published in Psychosomatic Medicine found that having a close, trusting relationship with someone can actually lower your heart disease risk. Take time to nurture those relationships, spend time with loved ones, engage in deep conversations, and share your feelings. These interactions not only boost your mood, but can physically lower your blood pressure and reduce stress. And don't forget about your community. Whether it's a church, senior center, or online group, being involved in a community can provide a strong sense of purpose and belonging, both of which are essential for heart health. Now let's touch on something many people overlook: the importance of managing stress in your daily life. After a cardiac event, your body is more sensitive to stress. And stress, as we know, can be a major trigger for heart problems. But managing stress is a skill that can be learned and improved over time. You might be surprised to learn that there are simple daily practices that can help. Deep breathing exercises, progressive muscle relaxation, and mindfulness meditation are all proven ways to reduce stress and anxiety. These techniques not only help you stay calm, but also lower your heart rate and blood pressure. One of the easiest techniques to start with is deep breathing. This is a simple method, but it works wonders when you're feeling anxious or overwhelmed. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and slowly breathe in for a count of 4. Hold it for 4, then breathe out for 4. Repeat this process for a few minutes. It's amazing how quickly you can feel the calming effect. Try doing this before bed or whenever you're feeling stressed during the day. These small but powerful practices can significantly lower your stress levels and help protect your heart. Also, consider incorporating regular exercise into your daily routine. I know it's easy to put it off, especially when you're dealing with recovery, but exercise is one of the most effective ways to combat stress, whether it's a walk around the block, a gentle stretching routine, or even yoga. It all counts. Exercise releases endorphins, which are natural mood boosters. It also promotes better sleep, which, as we discussed earlier, is essential for heart health. So don't wait until you feel better to get started. Small steps every day make a huge difference over time. Speaking of sleep, I want to highlight a few more tips for improving your rest. Good sleep is one of the most underrated tools in cardiac recovery, but it's critical. Poor sleep can increase inflammation and stress hormones, both of which can negatively impact your heart. That's why it's important to create a sleep environment that promotes deep, restful sleep. Start by setting a regular bedtime and wake-up time. This consistency helps regulate your body's internal clock, making it easier to fall asleep and wake up naturally. Next, avoid caffeine and heavy meals close to bedtime. Caffeine can disrupt your sleep cycle, and heavy meals can cause discomfort, making it harder to rest. Make sure your bedroom is cool, dark, and quiet. Ideal conditions for a restful night. You might also want to invest in a comfortable mattress and pillows that support proper alignment. Remember, your body heals while you sleep. It's not just about resting your muscles. It's about giving your heart the time it needs to recover. So don't underestimate the power of a good night's sleep. Let's now look at how your healthcare team can help in this process. You're not alone in this. After a heart attack or other serious cardiac event, it's crucial to stay connected with your doctors, nurses, and rehabilitation specialists. They're there to guide you through the recovery process and make sure you're on track. Regular follow-ups with your healthcare provider are a must. These check-ins can help monitor your progress, adjust medications, and catch any potential issues early. One of the most valuable things you can do is actively participate in your care. Ask questions, be involved in your treatment plan, let your doctor know what's working for you and what isn't. If something feels off, don't hesitate to speak up. Your healthcare team is there to help you, but you need to be your own advocate. The more proactive you are about your health, the better your outcomes will be. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about the importance of having a positive mindset. I know this sounds a bit like motivational speak, but hear me out. Maintaining a hopeful, positive outlook after a heart event can actually improve your physical recovery. Research published in the Journal of Behavioral Medicine found that patients who maintained a positive attitude after a heart attack had better recovery outcomes than those who struggled with negative emotions. It's not just about thinking happy thoughts. It's about resilience, the ability to bounce back, to maintain hope, and to keep moving forward even when things feel tough. This isn't always easy, especially when you've just been through a life-changing experience. But remember, your thoughts influence your body's reactions. When you focus on the positive, on what you can do rather than what you can't, you help yourself heal faster. Take small steps every day to cultivate gratitude, even if it's just for the simple things: a warm cup of tea, the sound of birds outside, a conversation with a loved one. These little moments of joy add up over time and can have a big impact on your heart's healing process. As we near the end of today's discussion, I want to focus on one final and incredibly important aspect of recovery: setting long-term goals. After a cardiac event, it's easy to feel uncertain about the future. But having clear, meaningful goals can give you a sense of purpose and direction. These goals don't need to be huge. They can be as simple as taking a 10-minute walk each day, learning how to cook a heart-healthy meal, or even signing up for a community fitness class. The key is to set goals that challenge you but are also realistic and achievable. When you set a goal, make sure it's something that excites you, something that will keep you motivated even when you face setbacks. Goals help you regain a sense of control over your life. They give you something to look forward to, something that can inspire you to keep pushing forward, even on days when it feels like the recovery process is moving too slowly. And don't forget to celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Each step forward is a victory. Whether it's managing to walk a little further than the day before or cooking your first heart-healthy meal, give yourself credit for your efforts. Another great way to stay motivated is to share your goals with someone close to you, whether it's a family member, a friend, or even a healthcare professional. This accountability can help keep you on track. It also gives you an opportunity to talk about any struggles you may face along the way and to ask for support when you need it. Remember, recovery doesn't happen in a straight line. There will be days when you feel great and days when you don't, but those bumps in the road don't mean you failed. They simply mean you're human. So as we wrap up, I want you to reflect on everything we've discussed today, from emotional healing to building a support network, managing stress, improving sleep, staying connected with your healthcare team, maintaining a positive mindset, and setting long-term goals. Each of these strategies plays a crucial role in your recovery. If you can incorporate even a few of these into your daily routine, you'll be setting yourself up for the best possible recovery outcomes. And while today's information is certainly important, the real power lies in taking action. It's one thing to know what to do, but it's another thing entirely to actually do it. Make a commitment to yourself today. Take one small step towards recovery, whether it's reviewing your emergency plan, starting a daily walk, or simply reaching out to someone in your support system. These small actions add up and will make a big difference in your long-term health and well-being. Before we finish, I want to leave you with a reminder. Your heart deserves all the care and attention you can give it. After all, it's the one organ that keeps you alive and active, and it's worthy of your full investment. It might take time, patience, and effort, but with the right strategies in place, you can recover fully and live a long, healthy life. Just remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Keep moving forward, even when it feels difficult. You're doing great, and you have so much strength inside you. And now, a final call to action. If you found this video helpful and think someone you know might benefit from it, please share it with them. You never know when the information you've just learned could save a life. Share the knowledge, share the hope, and together we can help more people navigate the challenges of heart recovery with confidence and care. Also, if you're committing to creating your personal emergency plan or starting one of the tips we've discussed today, please hit the like button right now and comment ready below. This not only helps others find this video, but also serves as a reminder that you're taking proactive steps toward better health. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more tips, strategies, and life-saving information. You'll be notified whenever new content is posted, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. Finally, thank you for sticking with me through this entire video. I know it was a lot of information to absorb, but I hope you feel empowered and ready to take action. Remember, this is all about your health and your life. Your future is in your hands, and you have the power to shape it. I believe in you, and I know you can do this. Don't forget to check out the recommended video on the screen next. It might contain exactly what you need to continue on your journey. Take care of yourself, keep moving forward, and remember, your heart matters. Protect it with everything you've got. Stay strong, and we'll see you in the next video. And while you're here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That little bell icon? Click it. It makes sure you never miss a single video that could change or even save your life. We're building a community here, one where seniors and their families can find guidance, support, and strength every step of the way.